All right. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to give the very, very, very high level of this. This is normally like a 35-minute presentation I do on this, but we only have 30 minutes, and we're doing a demo. So I got about 2 minutes here before Reese comes on and we actually run through the demo. Let me explain really, really quickly about the Anduro platform. Anduro is actually a sidechain platform with associated apps that we're building out for the various sidechains. We have two sidechains currently on testnet. And Coordinate is the one that we're going to demo for you today and run a little workshop on. And Coordinate is a fork of Bitcoin Core. And it is Bitcoin Core. The whole idea of it is, let's say Bitcoin becomes this data layer, data availability layer for L2s. That's all you use it for. Well, I would still like to transact on Bitcoin using Bitcoin transactions. Where do you do that? Well, Coordinate's a good place to do that. And it does what Bitcoin does currently and a whole bunch more with an actual Bitcoin denominated token. And you can run native UTXO tokens on top of it. Plus, it uses hybrid consensus, which all Anduro sidechains operate on hybrid consensus between a strong federation and, of course, Bitcoin merge mining. So no shitcoin and pays the miners. Check both those boxes. So do you have like a QR code for your Twitter page? I did at some point, but it's gone. All right, so really quick with Coordinate. Yeah, basically the stuff I said here, UTXO based, backward compatible, it's script, it's Bitcoin. Basically it's Bitcoin. Anything Bitcoin does now you can do on it. You can do Lightning, anything, and we want to keep feature parity with Bitcoin, so any soft forks that go through you should be able to do. I don't know if we're going to activate opcat. Several other chains have, and I don't know if it matters. It also supports assets, which we're going to go through in the demo here. So these are importantly native UTXO assets. So it's not like assets that you see on Bitcoin today. The name Coordinate is like kind of a play on ordinals. It works along with, but it's not actually ordinal technology. We're not tracking individual sats here. What we do is we actually create these alternative assets as UTXOs themselves, which are respected by the actual consensus of the chain itself. So it's not this indexed meta layer. It's actually on a Bitcoin level. This is where these assets are moving. So the easiest way I've found to describe it is you have a UTXO set, and then the UTXO set has it has an extra field in it that says which asset you're talking about for this UTXO. That's basically at a high level what we did. The other thing, and there's a whole lot of crud in here, but the other thing we did is mine blocks and sign blocks and reorg resistance. Reorg resistance, the federation, it signs 3 blocks prior for a coordinate. So you have to include the commitment of the federation. So you can never have a chain fork over 3 blocks. It cannot happen. And then it has 2 types of transactions between sign blocks, which are MEV resistant through emergent consensus. So you're using public consensus to do it. Every node verifies their own order that they see things in. So if you were cheating out the order, it's first come, first serve for the transactions. If you're cheating out, it's very transparent and obvious that that's what's going on. So, and also premium transactions, which, yeah. So you never overpay for one of these transactions. They go, and it's either final or killed in about a minute. And there's no RBF bumping because it uses a reverse auction. It's pretty cool. So the goal is, hey, cheap Bitcoin again, bring it back to 2013, and oh yeah, add assets too. Sure, cool. All right, so that's the extremely fast version of this. So thank you very much. Reese, you want to get started with the?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, to kind of complete this demo, you'll need a laptop, the latest version of Python, Chrome or Chromium. Some people say Brave works with this. And then you will need to install the Chrome browser extension wallet. So just letting you know that to get through this whole thing, you must install this little browser wallet. You can uninstall, use like a just regular instance, and you can just remove it after you're done if you don't want.
Hello. Just a plug too. The Anduro wallets are also available for iOS and Play Store, App Store and Play Store. You can just search for Anduro and download the wallet there as well. But we'll be doing primarily on the browser-based extension on Chrome.
And we built this app Marathon as well, so.
Yeah.
One second. Do you still have your laptop with all the assets to distribute? Oh, shit. Okay, we'll see here in a second. Okay, so kind of the first step to all this is that I'm going to assume that you already have Python installed and you have Chrome and Chromium, but you'll need to get the browser extension wallet. There we go. And this basically is used as kind of an introduction to being able to send and receive coordinate Bitcoin, coordinate testnet Bitcoin in this case, and coordinate assets through what we're going to work with today is the actual RPC. So I've created like a set of scripts that we can use to interact with a coordinate node that I'm hosting myself at my own location, but to make it easy so everybody can run with the same code and do things without having to set up the entire node, download, create wallets, etc. I've kind of already preloaded wallets in a little interesting way that hopefully is pretty easy to interact with. So from here, the initial thing with the wallet is you have a bunch of different little notifications. I'm gonna see if I can fix one thing real quick with my setup. I think the scaling's off and it is far too big. Oh yeah, I literally had it. I was gonna search, so let's go to 150. That should make things look a little bit more appropriately sized. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so once you get the wallet, basically it's gonna ask you a bunch of questions like typical wallet setup, seed phrase, etc. But in this case, this is completely disposable to me. So we're just gonna go with a brand new account. PortlandHODL. It's going to give me a seed phrase, but since this is all testnet Bitcoin, has no value anyways, I'm just going to continue. Confirm your backup. I'm going to skip on that. And no thanks, I don't want to review. And let's not even set a password for this. Okay, so next is here. I have absolutely nothing in this wallet, brand new wallet. And this web wallet connects to a general just RPC server or indexer that essentially grabs the assets, is able to display the asset images, quantities, and balances. So this is not like you're connecting to your own self-hosted node or anything. It's just using another general public node. So in terms of the actual demo itself, we are going to need to run some Python. So let's clone the repository. By the way, anybody that's following along, you'll probably need to go to the Bitcoin repository or the coordinate repository here. So that's going to be at github.com/russery. You should be able to go to RUSSEREE. I apologize for not using PortlandHODL. That's a long-term holdover. And then in the repositories section, you'll have coordinate workshop. By the way, did anybody have trouble getting a hold of the web wallet? Okay. So once you get to the, has everybody gotten to the repository that wants to get there? Okay, perfect. We're gonna clone this into our own local directory. So we're going to, I have my own Git directory, but I'm going to remove my existing copy. So we'll be all working together on this. So if there are bugs, I will see them too. So git and clone. Okay. So, by the way, does anybody have a question on how to clone the repository onto their local machine? No? Okay, we're good to go. So to start interacting with these scripts, we're going to go into the coordinate workshop. And to have all these work properly, we got to set up what's called a virtual environment. There are the commands listed down here on the GitHub repository, right about the middle. But you're going to basically want to create it first. Yeah, correct. So there's one additional command. You're going to go Python 3-m module venv virtual environment, and then you're going to create the folder the virtual environment will exist in. So it's Python 3-m venv. With the note, if you're on Windows, it's not gonna work. So I don't know how else to say it. I've worked with Mike on this. But yeah, maybe you can help if anybody's on Windows, how to get that set up. Is anybody on Windows?
Oh, yeah.
Use Linux subsystem.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Great job. Awesome. Okay, so you create the virtual environment. This usually takes about a second because it's copying all the binaries, et cetera, over. And then now you have to activate it. This is where the commands are actually complete here. So source, virtual environment, binary activate. You notice this shows up saying you're working in this virtual environment here. And the next portion is you're going to have to install the requirements themselves. So I created a nice little requirements.txt file. Boom. Okay. So I actually need a wallet myself. I'll find one. I can find one. So, okay. So next, as part of going through this demo, we're going to use the wallet balance checker script. So we're going to make sure that everybody in this room has a coordinate balance according to the coordinate node, which I've already loaded with between about 1 and 2 coordinate testnet Bitcoins. Remember, none of this is real. It's all on testnet 3. It's going to get blown away anyways, so don't get attached. So wallet balance checker. And there should be a balance.py file in there. And then because you've activated the virtual environment, Python balance.py, it'll ask you for a wallet name. I'm going to do, I know this one has a balance, acid. And you should get something saying that you've connected to the node and we're able to see 1.97. I should have wrote TBTC on that. Is everybody able to achieve that? You got one? Okay, nice. I think there's one with 3 in there somewhere. So, okay, perfect. And by the way, for the sake of this demo, please do not just there are definitely functions where you can just drain all the wallets. Do this after this whole exercise. This is just a shared community thing, how you can interact with this. So I want to show one thing as well. And by the way, how much time do I got still? Oh, I thought Charlie, no. Okay, I'm gonna keep going until the Okay, that's great, perfect. Okay, so as a side note, I would just want to show this sorry. Most of this stuff, in terms of interacting with a coordinate node, so you literally just download it in the same way you do Bitcoin, but it uses the exact same JSON RPC methods as Bitcoin Core. So get balance, all that is literally the exact same. So next is, did everybody have a balance? Or was able to find a balance? Okay, cool. Next, let's go create an asset, and then we'll sweep the wallets to conclude. So I believe there's another directory. There is a wallet asset tools script.
I already asked 8 minutes.
8?
We
Can I have an extra 5? Okay, I think we can do this. So, okay, next. So to best see this, I just want to show here, but in this example, if you can actually navigate the directories, there should be a couple of different assets. We had one for tabconf. We had just the generic one we did initially, and then there's an opnext. For the sake of this demo, if you want to in your local directory, you can actually just replace this asset with any PNG you would like, but it must be below 1 megabyte in size, because that's the size of the blocks. And then a side note is you will probably have some relay issues as well for that. So yeah, just try to do something small if you want to keep it or change that. As of right now, it's still, sorry for holdover from tabconf, but that will be your default asset is in the asset.png file. But you also have in this, the wallet asset loader. So what this does is, this essentially is a script that will run through and it will grab that asset file, it will serialize it, and then obtain the hash necessary to go into the coordinate blockchain in your transaction so that it basically, you can prune out these assets in coordinate because you have the original hash along with it. So if somebody does have the data, it can be available, but if not, the hash is still stored in the transaction itself. So going down even further, there should be a section commented out. Oh, here's the location. Okay. So if you go into the wallet asset loader.py file, on line 176, there is a section you can edit for your asset that you are going to create and send to your wallet. So from here, I want to give the asset a title. By the way, was everybody able to find the wallet asset loader? Okay, perfect. Yeah, so on line 176, you can go below and you can modify this. I'm going to do opnext NFT. Let's do that.
Do we need to modify this?
You don't have to modify it. You can absolutely send it if you would like. I just want to make it so you can see like there is the ability to customize and create kind of like what you want. So headline, OPNEXT is awesome. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to write that file. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to run this, but you're going to need a coordinate address to send this asset to. So we are going to essentially go to the Anduro wallet, log into wallet, and if you did everything right and didn't do the security settings for testnet, you should be able to just click the CBTC, get a receive address, copy that in, and we're going to use it here in just a moment. So Python, set loader.py. It'll go through all the wallets and select the wallet number that belongs to you. It should have balances attached to these as well. By the way, does anybody have the wallet affair?
That was actually him.
What? What do I have?
Ed.
Oh, fair.
Ed, okay, I'm taking affair. I'm going to use it. So you should be able to enter in the number of the wallet that matches yours.
Who's having an affair and everybody's pointing at me?
And so basically it shows now, like you have a change output value, so that's showing you the change you're going to have. This is the hash of the asset that you're creating. And from here, you need to paste in the address you want to send the asset to. So in this case, TC, testnet coordinate 1. So then you'll get unsigned transaction created successfully. The next portion is the wallet on the coordinate node must sign it. Press enter to sign the transaction. If you want to look at the Python code, you can see underneath the hood. And then the last portion, I was doing this for debugging, but you can press 1 to broadcast the transaction, which you will want to do. Anything else just to skip it. But let's broadcast the transaction. And you should get a TXID at the bottom saying it's been broadcasted to the coordinate sidechain network. And that will show up as... What? It showed up?
Nice.
Yeah, OpNext is awesome. I should have done not the TabConf logo, but essentially this basically means you have an asset issued on the coordinate network. This is not on testnet. This is on the sidechain itself. The data is stored on the sidechain. Whether or not it has any value or any use or anything,
Yeah, there's
Probably
no
not.
indexer for it. This is native consensus to the chain.
yeah, so with that said, yeah, that's kind of the cool part about it. And then from here, you could transfer it to other
And
people.
it itself is a UTXO. So yeah,
Yep.
you know, you can divide these as you could Bitcoin.
And so over the next couple of minutes, it will probably confirm. And because we're using the mining side, so we have RBF.
Yes, we do have RBF.
CPFP. So that means
CFP.
I bet I can sweep the wallet for the rest of the money. And I have a sweeping script as well that we're going to move on to. So we're going to go back to those wallet tools. So wallet tools. And then we're going to run Python sweeper.py. I did reuse this function, but I'm going to take affair again. $49. See if it'll let me sweep. Oh, I need to send it an address as well. So let's grab my Anduro wallet address. I just would rather just make sure.
Yeah, it didn't
Yeah,
like
it didn't
'cause
work.
it's
I'm
pending.
assuming because it's got it in flight right now.
Yeah.
So. You're able to sweep as well? Oh,
Nice.
congratulations. So, awesome.
Well, it'll settle eventually once it gets mined, but yeah.
Let me try again. But yeah, so that I think concludes my demo of basically like how to use Coordinate, interact with the wallet, create an asset, and sweep the funds away from a public node. Please, in your own case, if you do decide to work with Coordinate, download the node and run it securely. And yeah, don't share a node with 50 wallets. Each one of these, by the way, is full of CBTC from testnet. So if you want to go through and sweep these and then do the peg out process or the wallet convert, you can actually just convert all this right back to testnet Bitcoin into your wallet. So you have one more shot.
Yeah, the other thing, if you get a shot to play around with it, is the pre-confirmed transactions. It's pretty cool. The premium transactions in the wallet. It uses a reserve fee market bid system to where it loads it full of fee-paying transactions, but you just set a reserve amount, and you never pay more than it takes to buy the block space. So if it doesn't meet your reserve amount, the transaction is just canceled. If it does meet your reserve amount, you never overpay. You only pay minimum it takes to get in the block. So no RBF games.
I want to point out one more thing as well. In the GitHub repository, there is, you can view your transaction on the Blockchain Explorer Cortiscan. So it's basically just a very basic blockchain explorer. It's not like mempool.space level, but if you did get like a TXID from that exercise and you're wondering like what's going on, where is it? You can paste it in there. It also has the times of the blocks, and it looks like we haven't gotten any mined blocks yet. So,
Any questions?
So you said when you sign the transaction, sending it out to be signed, how does that work?
so basically what's happening is that you're generating a transaction using Python from a local node, and when it brings it back to you, right? So it sends it back to your client, and then your client just sends that back to the Bitcoin node through a fund raw transaction to basically sign it and fund it for the value necessary. And so basically you're interacting with a remote node is what I'm saying. You're not actually doing any of this locally. Like that Python script is not its own coordinate node. This is completely, you're trusting somebody else's infrastructure. That's what I meant by that. It's like, yeah, we're done. It went great.
Rock on. Cool.
Yeah. Thank you guys, appreciate it. Yeah, and feel free to take all the CBTC or testnet from any of those wallets. I don't have any conferences coming up for a bit, so.
I love to see a successful demo.
I think it went pretty good overall. I missed one line. I forgot where my little comment was to modify the asset.
That was awesome.
Thank you.